And there you have it. The Zags punched their ticket to the Elite Eight after a dominant performance against Creighton this afternoon. Team coverage ahead, but first we are in a weather authority alert for you as KHQ Local News at 5 starts right now.
From your home of the Tokyo Olympics, this is KHQ Local News at 5.
We do think that there will be the impacts like there were last time.
Low visibility, down trees, and power outages coming in by the minute as the area is swept by a windstorm, some seeing gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Tonight, officials have issued a public safety alert asking you to stay home to keep yourselves out of harm's way. Good Sunday evening to you. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Haley Gunther. We are in a weather authority alert tonight. Right now, the Washington State Department of Transportation issuing or closing I-90 due to a dust storm. Look at these conditions. The closure is taking place just east of Moses Lake. The visibility is currently 0. And we do have big team coverage for you. Tim is in the Weather Center with the very latest conditions and what we can expect into the evening. Jordan Blaine tracking power outages. And we do have Austin Getz on the South Hill looking at the possibility of some down trees there. But first, we do want to head up to North Spokane, the Colbert area, where our Bradley Warren is at a down tree with a live wire. Bradley, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Haley, well, I'm just off of Wild Rose Road right now, just over by the Hatch intersection in Colbert. The good information to report right now. Vista is on scene working to restore the down power line. Fire District 4 is also here blocking traffic in both directions, but this is not an overly traveled road. When the wire itself came down, obviously it was live and it hit the metal roof of the home that it was attached to, and the homeowner tells me it sent sparks everywhere. Right now, everyone is safe and Avista is working to restore power to the area, but they do not believe many customers are affected right now. This is just a great reminder that when power lines do come down, call 911 and get as far away from that line as possible. This is something we're going to be tracking, and we will be posting power updates to the KHQ Facebook page. But for now, reporting live in Colbert, I'm Bradley Warren, KHQ Local News.
Absolutely, and we have had some reports of a fallen tree right near Loon Lake, also near SCC. Let's check in with Austin Getz now, though. He is on Spokane South Hill. Austin, you're near Comstock Park, which lost nearly 36 trees in the January windstorm.
Yeah, that's right, Haley. Here I am at Comstock Park, and you can really feel the wind whipping up here on the South Hill. You could probably also hear it through my microphone, just how strong these winds are. Just want to remind you of how powerful these kinds of winds can be. Here is what Comstock Park looked like in the aftermath of the windstorm that happened back in January. The winds combined with saturated soil, it puts trees at risk to come down. And when they do come down, they often don't have a nice open park like here at Comstock to fall in. They're often coming down on power lines, like Bradley just mentioned, homes and also cars. That's why the Spokane Fire Department is urging everyone to stay home, stay off the roads tonight, except for essential trips.
What we're recommending is that, only critical or necessary trips be exercised during the time of the severe weather. We try to learn on previous incidents experience every time, and we did have a fatality and a number of cars that were destroyed as a consequence of the last windstorm. So that's what we're recommending to the community right now.
And remember to report a downed tree if you see one here in Spokane. Call the city at 311. Only call 911 if the downed tree presents an immediate emergency. And as I mentioned earlier, these continuing winds continue to knock down some power lines in the area. And for an update on those outages, why don't I send it back into studio where Jordan Blaine has an update on what areas have lost power. Jordan?
Thanks, Austin. Well, right now I am tracking what outages we have seen so far. So far, Avista has seen just a little bit over about 1,700 homes without power. Checking in on Kootenai Electric at the moment, about 550 homes without power. And then as we move over to Inland Power, seeing just over about 2,000 people without power. But for so far, that's pretty good on the outage front. I'll continue to keep you updated as these come in. But right now, Tim Adams is in the Weather Center where he's tracking the winds and saying when the worst is yet to come. Tim?
Thank you, Jordan. We are talking about those gusty winds and blowing dust out there. And on the tower cameras, we've watched this wall of dust just move into the region. Airports reporting about 2 miles of visibility, almost zero visibility in areas of central Washington. And although the winds are sustained at about 29 to 30 miles an hour, we're seeing gusts in the region all the way up to 50 and 55 miles per hour. There's a mountain down in the central basin called Rattlesnake Mountain, and it's about 3,600 feet up there. They've clocked winds at 100-mile-an-hour gusts as we've gone through the afternoon hours. So for pretty much all of our region, we have this high wind warning overnight and into the early morning hours. Not until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning does it expire. North of us, there's a wind advisory. Northern Cascades have winter storm warnings. Down through the Blues and some of the Bitterroots, we have winter weather advisories for heavier snow in the higher elevations. And it looks like as we go overnight tonight, we'll see more downed trees, power outages possible. We've already heard of some of those. Blowing dust, low visibility, and that heavy mountain snow. I'm back in a couple of minutes. We'll be talking about much calmer conditions and sunshine, warmer temperatures coming along this week. Back to you there, Haley.
Gosh, looking forward to that, Tim. Thank you for continuing coverage of the winds sweeping through the region. Just head to KHQ.com. Make sure you have our free local news app, too. We'll send the very latest information directly to your cell phone. You can also track the latest info on the Wake Up Show starting at 4:30 on your Monday morning.
Breaking now.
And we are following even more breaking news for you. Convicted child killer Joseph Duncan is dead. He's been on death row for years, but in the end, it was brain cancer that took his life. Duncan was sentenced to death in Idaho 13 years ago after he was convicted of murdering Brenda Groney, her partner Mark, and her 13-year-old son Slade. Duncan killed them so he could kidnap and go on to torture Brenda's youngest children, Dylan and Shasta. Dylan he did kill, but Shasta was rescued and he was arrested when he took the little girl to Coeur d'Alene and a waitress recognized them. Following the Idaho death sentence, Duncan was moved to Riverside, California, where he was sentenced to life in prison for murdering a little boy named Anthony Martinez. Anthony's mother did release a statement following the news of Duncan's death, saying in part, quote, "The sun is brighter today and my soul is lighter. The world is a more beautiful place without the evil that is Joseph Duncan. God chose to make his end a long suffering, and I believe that is fitting. The horror of his thoughts consumed him," end quotes. Well, the drive for the title is continuing as the Gonzaga men keep making it look, gosh, almost easy at times as they sweep Creighton in their Sweet 16 game, making it to the Elite Eight. Right now, we do have team coverage for you. Our Dennis Patchen and Christian Saez standing by in Indy. But first, we head to Joe McHale with the highlights. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Haley. Well, after nearly a week off, the Zags are back on the hardwood in Indianapolis earlier today, playing in their Sweet 16 game for the 6th straight tournament. 29 teams have tried and 29 have failed to beat Gonzaga this year. 83-65, the final from Indy. Gonzaga going back to the Elite Eight for the 5th time in program history, where they will face the winner of USC and Oregon, who play later on tonight. Drew Timme led the way, led all scores with 22 points while adding 6 rebounds. Our Christian Saez is standing by in Indianapolis with reaction from fans, but let's start with Dennis Patchen, who is live with more on the Zags' Sweet 16 win over Creighton. Dennis.
Joe, the building behind me is the Lucas Oil Stadium. Gonzaga will play every game they have left this season in that building. Whether it's 1 or if it's 3, the Zags will be behind me. Today it was a dominating performance after a bit of a slow start against Creighton, and it was because of the sharing of the basketball. They've done it all year long. They did it again today.
I saw early that Andrew was just making some really solid decisions in the ball screens and making his reads good and really delivering the ball. And when he's in that zone, he's the best I've ever coached as far as making decisions in ball screens. So we wanted to put him in as many as we could.
That's been our identity all season. I think we play best when we're just moving the ball because we have so many pieces. And so much versatility. It's just like playing in the park with a bunch of guys that click so well. So it's been really fun.
34 baskets made by the Zags today, 23 a direct result of a pass. That means an assist. More than 2 out of 3 baskets today, Joe, because Gonzaga shared the basketball. Should be interesting. USC, Oregon. Not sure who would be a better matchup for Gonzaga, but it'll be an interesting game tonight. Zag fans, if they still have power, I'm sure will be watching the Trojans and the Ducks. Christian Saez is standing by. He was outside when Gonzaga fans left the building, and they all had smiles on their faces. Christian?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Dennis. Smiles were everywhere for Zags fans out at Hinkle Fieldhouse. And for the fans that actually got to go inside and watch the game in person, they were treated to some fun basketball. Gonzaga beating the Blue Jays by nearly 20 points. And, you know, you can imagine when I was catching some of those fans who were leaving, they were pretty happy about the way their Zags played today.
Great game. Best game they played all year, in my opinion.
Really?
Since December, I think, yeah. That was the effort. Jalen, Corey, Andrew, everybody was playing really hard.
Just everything that I was looking for in that basketball game. Huge win for the boys. I'll be there on Tuesday night. Can't wait to see them again.
Incredible. I think they spread it out. There was no, it was a team effort, total team effort.
I thought they played just like we'd expect them to. Their offense is just so deadly, and they couldn't keep up, so I thought it was great.
They're pretty good, Creighton's a good team, but Gonzaga just so deep this year that I feel good about our chances.
Fantastic game, and here we go to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, so the Gonzaga fans are obviously happy with the performance, but now the Gonzaga team is looking ahead to their next matchup, which is on Tuesday, and they still don't know who they're going to play. It's either going to be USC or Oregon. That's going to be decided here as that game's looking to get tipped off here shortly, and so I got the chance to catch up with some of those fans to preview what their thoughts are on that matchup. We'll have that coming up for you tonight at 6. Right now, reporting from the NCAA Tournament in Indianapolis, Christian Saez, back to you.
All right, Christian, thank you for that report. Taking a quick break for you here tonight at 5 o'clock, but still to come, we are in a Weather Authority alert. Our Tim Adams is back in the Weather Center with a look at conditions and when we could start to see a little bit of a break. That's next.